So what I'd like to do now is, let me see, I want to go to Jeremy Reese. And Jeremy, you guys are going to start doing the APEC celebration, right? Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're trying to get on the with the computer. I'm gonna have to drop out of the stream on the live stream real quick.
Okay.
Get this
and let me know whose camera to put this on, because you guys have made some big promises in terms of live experiments.
You have the other ripped half of the dollar.
I don't think we're admitting. I don't think we're. I'm
gonna drop out and reconnect.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, I actually have it here on my laptop.
Rock star. There you go.
Okay.
Well, happy anniversary, Mark, and I mean that in the most platonic way. So.
Okay, so we're here at APEC in New Jersey for the in-person conference. Trying to put together a bunch of experiments. Everything's in different stages. I don't know if there's gonna be any demos tonight, but we're definitely be working late on the different experiments. And we have an anniversary cake that you guys are not going to want to miss. Also, Jeremy here got a microscope set up, and we're gonna be looking at beetle wings for the Graphene experiment. Brad Voorhees has his VAG device that's supposed to make mass holes. Professor Tom came down, and we're working on this auto transformer that is gonna hook up with this setup over here. Lulu flew in from Texas and helped wire this up. Hey, Lulu, say hi.
Hi.
Oh, that's all. Oh, Lulu, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, look at that workmanship over there. We wired it up this cage in parallel because it's all going to be running on one phase. The issue with this transformer is we can't do a two-phase setup. So we're going to be pulling the maximum amps we can out of this building. We're actually running new lines in today. You see that line over there? That wasn't there this morning. There's another line that's coming in from the other side. We're pulling as much of the one phase that we can from the system. And it should be around 100 amps total in order to run these Klystrons, which are going to be running inside the Faraday cage behind me. So as soon as this thing is set up, we'll be able to run Alzaphon properly. How's it going over there, Jeremy?
There we go. So I see Jeremy. Jeremy is on the, Jeremy's getting on the computer. So what do you guys need me to do to get you all set up?
Well, we need to shut. We have
to get my camera working. It will not let my camera working.
Here, just use the laptop then.
So I just have to.
We're having a little bit of a reverb.
Yeah, and I can turn that off when you get the other mic going. So
that's because you have the APEC conference playing on the laptop right now, I think, with audio, and you're picking it up on your cell phone or whatever camera you're holding, Mark.
I'm holding my laptop.
Oh, well, yeah. I think your laptop is picking up the audio from the other laptop.
Okay, I think Jeremy got his camera working, so I'm gonna mute myself.
okay, and Mark, you are definitely muted. I am not getting Jeremy yet. I'm going to ask him to unmute. There we go.
I'm here.
Okay, are we good?
I think we're good. Yeah, we're gonna go live here as long as you guys want to mute that computer out, and we'll just do it from here, I guess. Hold up 1 second.
Quick question, Mark. Hello, Mark. Quick question. You can get, I'm seeing 19 kilowatt three-phase generators. Yep. If you can't get any three-phase in, maybe you can buy a generator and just put it upside and run a short length of wire.
It's not touching me.
So first on our thing is we got this power supply here and we went and took it apart and did some maintenance on it, cleaned it all out. And we're reassembling it now. And this is for the Alzafon. It's a power stat. Basically an adjustable power supply where you can tune it to whatever voltage you want.
And that's going to go into the voltage amplifier over there. It's times 100. So 120 in will be 12,000 out. And this is capable of 15 kilowatts. So that's over 100 amps. So we have this breaker box over here to control how much power we're going to put in it for the fuse breaks. And this is going to be powering the Klystrons using a bridge rectifying circuit.
And then what do we got over here? Want to turn that on real quick?
Oh, yes. So this is from Chris Hartman's lab. Flo, if you're watching, you'll really enjoy this. We fondly call this Sparky.
Yeah, and that folks is how Mark does his hair every morning.
Oh, well, we gotta show them the cake.
The cake.
All right, so let's switch to your computer then, because I can't walk around with this.
Here, so yourself? Okay. You can also
There
turn
I
off the
am.
audio. Okay, so walking through the building over here, and we're coming to the break room. This is where we're having most of the food. We had pizzas and different types of stuff for dinner, and here it is. Check it out. A tribute to Mark McCandlish. This is the ARV first anniversary cake for APEC.
Look at that door.
I was making sound effects.
I've
It
got to
even
give
has a
them
door on
a
it.
really big round of applause. I mean, those guys did a
Yeah.
great job with that cake.
These are the
That's
portals
amazing.
where they were looking out. Oh, and get this, one of the coolest things. This cake is engineered through and through to be like the ARV. So there's supposed to be coils on the bottom layer. They made that out of carrot cake and also on this upper layer over here as well. So when we cut into it, we're going to see internal structures of the ARV in cake form.
I'm gonna bust out the wine too.
Oh,
man.
yeah. We actually have some champagne for that.
Thank you, guys. It's everyone watching, everyone on YouTube, everyone in the conference, APEC. We're happy to celebrate this first year anniversary, and let's sing happy birthday.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
To us.
birthday
to us.
Happy birthday, dear APEC.
Happy birthday to you.
Everyone should unmute for this now.
Get a big round of
Unless you want
applause.
white noise, I mean, it would be
We need to start.
beautiful, disharmonious
We need
symphony.
to start also remembering all the people that we've had here this year. And the people that are no longer with us. Chris Hardiman's tribute to his lab is actually here as well. We also have a tribute to Mark McCandlish, who passed away this year.
They're not hearing you on there.
Oh, are you guys hearing us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Mark. You sound great.
Jeremiah, can you hear us?
Audio sounds good. Audio is good.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube or Zoom?
They're hearing us fine on Zoom, and that's what matters.
YouTube, everything.
Oh, okay, so Jeremy needs to take care of that. So, yeah, we just wanted to congratulate everyone who presented on APEC. Over the year, there's been about 75 presenters so far. Tim, how are we doing on numbers so far?
Oh, it's hard to tell because we have a lot of people who presented twice, but I think it is in the debrief, they wrote something like 70. They went through all of them and counted them up. So, and we have more coming. I mean, we have a conference coming up on November 27th with more. So there we go. Look at that. That is an amazing cake, Mark.
Yeah, we're going to cut into it in a little bit. As soon as we finish with all the experiments, you guys haven't had a chance to see Brad and his VAG device, or the Voorhees anti-gravity engine. So let's bring Brad on.
You're on cue, man. What's that? You want me to?
Yeah, let's show us what you got going on over here.
Hang on. Well, see, I got to tighten these up right here because I don't want my contacts to rip off this. So I need to put one more layer here and then I'll be all set.
Okay, and what's this supposed to do?
What's that?
This is graphene right here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So you want me to just kind of like give
Yeah,
the kind of the
just
basics?
go for it.
Okay. So this anti-gravity. Oh, I'm not looking at my nutsack and not my face there. Okay. So, so the whole premise of this is that if you take time, right? If you take time like a movie, like the universe, you're looking at a movie, and when the movie kind of clicks through the film, right? Every film is an instant of playing time. And so what we do is we're going to chop all of those slides into, we're going to cut loose all those frames and then stack them like cheese, right? And so when we look at it, that's the flow of time. You go from playing time to playing time to playing time. And so this is the hypothesis, right? And so this is how we're going to see if our anti-gravity works. And so inside each of those frames of playing time, the chewy center of each slide is the Higgs field. And so, and I know you're going to think, oh no, it's bullshit. It's not how it works.
I just love the way you explain it.
Yeah.
Like cheese, chewy. We call it a vag, or we're looking for a mass hole.
So, yeah. So, and so we think of, or at least I think of, the Higgs string as sort of the tie that ties all of the matter in the universe to our instance of time. And so in some ways, that's why when, mass accelerates, it has to slow down in time so that, the conservation of mass energy is observed throughout every slice of time. So that's kind of the idea. So what we're going to do is we are going to essentially beat on the Higgs string and get it to stretch so that the mass of our matter, and I'm sorry. So the Higgs boson is in some ways is what I believe is the anchor of the Higgs string inside each of our atoms, so to speak. And so the idea will be to bang on the Higgs field such that we can essentially stretch that string. And
how are we doing that?
So the way we're gonna do that is we know, and this is where it sort of blends quantum field theory and Newtonian physics.
This needs to spin in order to do that, right?
Okay, stay with me. Yes, it's gonna spin.
And it spins inside that base over there, right?
Okay, yeah, stay with me. So we know, or at least I was watching PBS Space Time with Dr. Matt O'Dowd, and he was saying that left-handed electrons and right-handed electrons, the left-handed ones get hung up by the Higgs field. And that's kind of how they discovered what the Higgs field was. And so what we're trying to do is create a electromagnetic field that has a higher density of left-handed electrons. And then, like pushing somebody on a swing harmonically, we're going to push, we're going to let them swing out and come back. And we're push again and swing out and come back. And what we're going to try to do is create a harmonic loading, harmonic electromagnetic field pulsing that will hopefully build resonant energy in the Higgs string, because we can't shove it hard enough. There's no way you can beat gravity by pushing on it really hard. So we got to bounce it. We got to push it like a swing. And if we can build enough energy in the Higgs string, like the Higgs field, there's sort of like, it looks like a top hat. Like in a vacuum, there's energy. And so we need to push it just a little bit so that it does what they call a symmetry break. And it goes to the, forget what it's called, the state. It's like a ground state. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to bump the Higgs field. And we know that it hangs up the left-handed electron. So from Newtonian physics, right? If the Higgs field is pulling on the left-handed electron, then we know the left-handed electron is bumping the Higgs field. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a harmonic electromagnetic field, which means it's going to pulse. And we're going to try to bounce it off of us. So the way it works is, okay, come over here.
Any chance you can hold this?
Yeah, can you? Okay, so that's me right there. So yeah, you got it. Okay, so, and there was some they invented this in 2014, they invented graphene. which is super duper thin carbon sheets. And the cool thing about graphene is like, I mean, if you get the good stuff, it's like 1 atom thick. I don't have the good stuff, but mine's like a few nanometers thick. But what they like about graphene, what they noticed about graphene is if you put it in an electromagnetic field, it separates left and right-handed electrons, which I think will give us the greatest left-handed electron density that we'll find in our field. So a Faraday disk, I know it's kind of a long explanation. It's like, it's not that tough, but just like bear with me. So a Faraday disk was invented by a guy named Faraday. And so what he did was he took like a disc of like solid copper, right? And he put 2 magnets like that, and then he cranked it. And what it did was it turned this into a battery where it's sort of like the magnets are right here. And as this thing spins, it squishes electrons out like toothpaste out of a tube. And the electrons flow this way. And since there's more electrons going that way, then this becomes the anode, right? Because electrons are negative, it's more negative. This is positive, which is because the cathode. So what you have my badge over there, it's the Voorhees anti-gravity engine. So I have copper copper wool contacts, right? And my next version is going to be like way slicker. This one I just like made by hand, kind of like, whatever. I just like in a few days. So I have all these contacts that are going to run around the inside, and then I have all these contacts running around the outside, and it creates energy because this turns into a battery. It's like, the battery has a plus and a minus. And so I have contacts that run the current, that run the energy out of the middle and then out of this side, and they come over here to a multimeter, and I'll be able to measure how many amps I'm creating. The first time we did it, I got about 35 milliamps. But now I'm gonna have, this is like Mark 1.1. This is gonna be even better. And so if you zoom in, you can kind of see there are 30 gauge copper wire threads this way. Now, I've also put graphene down for this version, and that's going to do 2 things. One, graphene's a conductor too, so there'll be like a magnetic field coming out like a tube of this when I crank it up, and it'll come out like a tube, and it'll curve back around and come back through. Now you create a magnetic field whenever you create a circuit. So as long as I got a contact here, I'm creating energy. It's going to go back around. It comes back. We're going to automatically have a magnetic field, because anytime you have flow and current in a circuit, you got a magnetic field. And so that's going to be our magnetic field when things start spinning. But we can't just have like a solid magnetic field, or it's not, you're never going to get that strong enough to push the Higgs field away, to essentially decouple the Higgs field, so to speak. So what I did was I put threads of conductor through, like as you saw, around that kind of hoop. And so what's going to happen is it's like this. So here's your magnets. So I got magnet spokes all around the sort of path of the wheel. And then I got these little copper filaments. And what's going to happen is when they're like this, I'm going to have a current, and I'm going to have a magnetic field. And then it's going to go like that. And then I'm not going to have one, because they're going to be out of sort of contact. And then it'll go here, and I'll have another one. And then it'll be current, and then there'll be a field, and then there won't be a field. And so it's going to go like that, right? So essentially, I have a super weak motor, and but I made it all clear because I want everybody to look at it and go, okay, yep, that's exactly what he said it was. And there's not like fans in there, any kind of crap. It's totally transparent. So, which is kind of cool. So it's going to spin probably 4 or 5 hertz. Like that disc is going to spin maybe 4 or 5 times a second. It's not very much, but I got a whole bunch of filaments in there. So it actually turns out that the harmonic pulse of the field is going to be about 1.5. This is my assistant. This is my assistant Co. So the field, the frequency, the pulse of the field is going to be about 1.5 kilohertz. And I already did this. Like we ran it at home, and at the configuration, at the Mark 1 configuration, when it didn't have the graphene embedded in there, we got 3.5 pounds of mass reduction on a 50-pound rig. And so everybody's like, oh, well, we don't see it. And like, you could have like had your finger on it or whatever. So now we're gonna do it with a live audience. We're gonna live stream it. And there are gonna be a bunch of people in lab coats all sitting around. So they
put it back together, man.
okay, stay with me. I'm on camera and I'm talking. Thank you. So yeah, it's like, do not interrupt the artiste.
Okay,
Okay,
well, we're waiting in suspense. So
yeah, oh, so what I want to show you though is if you take a look, this is what it looked like when we were running it. We built my hypothesis is that the reason this happened is because we managed to store a little bit of resonant energy in that Higgs string, and we dropped like 2 pounds really fast. So I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see it. It's like 50 pounds. I don't know. I'm getting the layer right. Okay, so there. So we lost about 2. We were cruising at like kind of like 0.5 pound of mass reduction, we think, the whole time. And then I think we built enough. It was probably around 15 milliamps was when we really started noticing like fluctuations in mass reduction. And so it was definitely a function of milliamps, or it's definitely a function of current. So, and I know like some people will be like, oh, it's probably just like harmonic loading the springs of the scale, because I have a 100-pound scale that's analog. And so, and the whole idea is we take this 50-pound rig and we put it on the scale and we turn it on, and if it works, it'll get lighter, right? And so that's what we were looking for, is it getting lighter. And so, but you know, there's an argument that, oh, you know, it could be just, you know, sort of harmonic vibration in the spinning of the disc somehow translates to, you know, a resonant sort of reaction in the scale, which is bullshit, but it could be possible. So one of the things that I think we could do to sort of kind of disprove that would be to, while it's running, take some ballast that we know the weight of, and then take the ballast, weigh it separately, and then when the engine's going, place it underneath and see if the weight on the running machine increases exactly the same amount as the ballast is weighed. If it's less, if we get 25 pounds of ballast and then we put it on and it's only goes up 23 pounds, then that's a pretty good indicator that we're shaking some mass. And essentially what we're doing is we're bumping this mass sort of into the past, right? Because, you know, we're bumping it into a different sort of slice of time. And so, and the reason I think that's the way it works, the reason I think the Higgs field is actually the gravity field, and the reason I think the Higgs boson is actually the graviton, is because if we are in a slice of time, right, like this, and without going in, you can look on my website, it's www.sonic-gravity.com. And I've only started learning quantum physics. I sort of started teaching myself about 4 months ago. And so I've sort of journaled it in all these episodes. And so yeah, I talk about exactly like why I think that is what it is and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, if we were in a brain of time that was a Planck length thick, and I think that the Higgs string is 1 Planck length long, so it leashes our matter to our instance of time, but it can stretch 1 Planck length either way without engaging the Higgs string. But if it goes 2, I think it engages it, flips it around to the other side till 2, and it flips it back. So essentially, I think most of the matter in the universe is oscillating on a 4 pi Planck length diameter circle. And so if you do the math right on that circumference, you get 4 times pi, which is 12.5, right? And that orbiting matter, right, crosses our brain of time in 2 places, which is, you know, 2 Planck lengths, right? So if it's 12.5 all the way around and 2 of them are in our plank time, then that gives you a 2 to 10.5 ratio, which becomes a 1 to 5.25. And that's the exact measured that's the exact measured proportion of dark matter to observable matter in our universe.
So well, hold on.
That's my opinion.
Let me interrupt for just a second and ask. So with the experiment that you have, are you going to be doing any demos today for that, or are you just describing what you're constructing?
Well, no, what I was just telling you was the reason I think what I'm doing, the reason I think what I built does what it does. And so right now, I don't know if you can see it or not, the mechanics of it. See, I use these copper wool brushes to carry the current from the anode to the cathode on my like modified Faraday disc. And so, but they disintegrate as I use them. So I've had to replace them. And they also have sort of disintegrate the copper foil edges of my disc. And so it's not a particularly resilient machine. My Mark II machine is going to be wicked better. Like I've got like a Dyson vacuum cleaner motor that's going to spin. It says it spins at 40,000 RPMs. And I'm gonna make my wheel more resilient. I'm gonna have thin copper plating as the conductive contacts, and I'm going to. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be way more power, and it should be more resilient. And the one thing that I want to show you that was kind of interesting, I probably came up with this design in, I want to say October. Anyway, you can check out my podcast and see when I did. But after I came up with the design, somebody sent me, and I don't know who it was. I think it might have been somebody who's, anyway, they sent me a component that was allegedly a component of a downed UFO in the 40s or 50s. And the funny thing is if you see this spinner right here, let me take it so you can see it. You see that? Okay, that's what I invented in like, I don't know, September, October, something. And the dude, it was like September. It was like early September. And the component he sent me was this. And so when I look at this, I know exactly what that does. And I think that's authentic because it's exactly what you need, I think, to create an electromagnetic field that bounces, that finds resonance with essentially the Higgs field and bounces it off. So, and I've got like a lot more things that also like, essentially it unifies you get the electroweak unification. And then like now you're talking about the universe knows, the weak nuclear force knows that inside that magnetic field, there's no mass. So now you got 0 point energy. And so anyway, so that's kind of, if you want to see everything, I sort of started this, kind of like, my journey is sort of this process. And they came up with a name. I just heard of the name they thought of for the kind of sort of, I don't know, physicist or whatever. I mean, I'm an engineer. I got a master's and bachelor's in engineer. I'm also a lawyer. I'm a patent lawyer. So yeah, this is all patented. But the things that the way I think of the things is like things that I know. And I just start kind of isolating common sense. So it's not, is that for me?
That is your beer, man.
Oh, you're a good man.
What? It's time for champagne and cake.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do champagne and cake. We can come back to this too, because we're going to have more open discussion I think in a bit here, but.
Sure. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys listening. And when we turn this on, we're going to live stream it. So everybody will see it. And
yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah. And if it works, you guys are all going to you're going to have been there when like the second time we saw it work. Yeah. So
no, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for walking us through it. Thanks again.
Sure.
Hey, sorry to cut you off, man.
Oh, that's fine.
We're all trying to.
Yeah, well, no, I'm geared up. So we're doing the cake now.
That's it. We're doing this.
And I want to thank Mark Sokol, who may see this in replay if you watch this the replay. I want to thank Mark Sokol as well as you. I want to thank you for traveling. I want to thank Mark for putting all of this together. Mark, thank you.
Yes, and my apologies. We weren't able to connect with each other over the last week. It's just been so crazy over here. Jeremy, big thank you. Big round of applause to Jeremy Riss, who came down 3 days early to help set up. Also, Lulu, she's out. She also came in early and helped. She ironed all of these, all the patches on.
Thank you, Lulu.
And also wired up the power bank for the transformer. Tom came down here as well, helped us out. Aiden flew in from New Mexico. Brendan Coe flew in from Wisconsin. Chris Spaghetti, of course.
Yes.
Dr. Patterson. We got Maryland with Brad. Washington D.C. Right? Okay, everyone. What kind of drinks are we drinking? Who wants white? We got white and red.
I just take whatever nobody else wants.
Oh, these are good. These are good.
Human garbage disposal.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how I'm not picky.
I think.
Okay, well, yeah, and again, I want to thank all of you for coming down, but I especially absolutely want to thank Mark for organizing everything for this live event. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be there with you guys, but you know, at least I can moderate that way.
Next year, Tim.
No mind?
There's always next year.
Red or white?
I say no. Once we start having propulsion breakthroughs and actually gravity breakthroughs, we're going to start a competition and a games where we try to see who can have like
The gravity games.
the gravity games.
Gravity
Just
games.
like
There you
Hunger
go.
Games, although
Yeah.
with gravity.
It'd be like the
and
Hunger
stuff.
Games, but for gravity.
I
No,
don't know.
not like
People are
that.
pretty freaked out from Squid Game nowadays. They're like, who
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
to get involved with this kind of stuff?
it's been making the rounds.
Okay, we're gonna cut into this cake. right
Let's
now.
cut
It's
the
supposed
cake.
to
You
be
guys ready? You
engineered
want to see
inside.
this? You want to see the inside? Let's see the guts of this ARV.
Okay, are you gonna count this thing down? You got to count down from 5.
We got to get an up close on that first. Let's get an up close on that. Let's full screen that, pin that up close. Let's get a cam on it.
Yeah, get a good. Yeah, that's right. Get a good photo.
Are you ready? Okay.
Ready? Here we
Looking pretty
go.
good. Looking pretty
Three.
good. Here we go.
2, 1.
Yes, happy birthday.
Oh, there's something hard here. They might have put another layer in it. There's a layer.
Did you kill someone?
Well, the electromagnets are going to be a little bit stiffer than the rest.
Yep, there's a, oh, and look at that.
There's a Tesla coil in the
There
middle.
is the Tesla coil. We can see it. Oh my God, they made it perfect height.
No
too.
way, man. I cannot wait for the second slice. It's great.
Can you send me a piece of that?
Does it taste like
Oh,
$1,000 a piece. We'll mail you one right now.
Yeah.
It's like
I can hear McCandlish now. What are you doing?
Looks like we're eating R2D2.
Yeah, well, and that is Mark's design, right? The ARV, and it is a shame that he can't be here to see it because we did lose him earlier this year.
it's not that easy to cut.
Does it taste like metal?
I think the first slice is going to be, it's not going to come out
I hope it
perfect.
doesn't taste like metal.
Oh, this is from like a 5-star bakery that won Food Network show several times in a row. So that-
Yeah.
This is gonna be a really good cake.
All right, let's see this layered Tesla coil inside.
Is it like,
Oh,
We got
look at
carrot
that.
cake.
We got carrot cake on the top.
Oh, that's fancy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
I think we have to take the entire top off in order to get
Oh, geez.
proper cuts from the bottom.
yeah.
I just want a piece of that door. So I
I
can eat your door.
Okay.
don't care what piece I get.
Yeah,
I went to the bathroom.
there's something hard here that I'm not able to cut through. Oh yeah, there it
I'll
is.
take the bathroom.
That's probably like
Ah,
Oh, look at that. And that's strawberry mousse.
oh man, that looks
Oh,
good.
ah,
And it comes with the door.
That's the
Comes
door.
with the door.
Oh, the door, that's like,
that's Jeremy's.
Yeah.
Jeremy calls it.
I called it.
Okay, who wants the other half of the door? The
Anyone?
top is strawberry mousse, I think.
yeah, man, I'll take that. Nobody else wants it. Oh man, I get the door.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see something in the center.
There's a piece of cardboard over here. I'm gonna take the entire thing off. Oh, it looks like, oh, there's a spoke in there just to help keep it centered.
Edible.
Don't give that to somebody.
Put that on a plate,
That's-
man.
Put it-
There you go. Look at that.
I think you're supposed to freeze that for next year.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, now Jeremy, why don't you grab a spoon from over here and tell us how it tastes?
All right, I gotta do the official taste test.
So I think I'm gonna get this. Oh, yeah, this is a much better.
man, this is so good.
This is a much better slice.
Oh, man.
I see the innards.
So we got the copper on the bottom, and this is the upper coil, and it's surrounded by vanilla. Who wants the next slice?
This is really good cake.
Dude, this is so good.
And it's surrounded by vanilla again.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
surrounded by vanilla.
It's like a party in my mouth.
Brad says it's a party in his mouth.
Oh, so good.
I'd say it's like a flavorful nuclear bomb in your mouth and in your stomach.
Okay, the cuts are coming out even better.
How
Wow,
good is that?
that vanilla.
That's so good.
Ah,
That is so good.
Oh, there we go. That's an organized slice right there.
and not a cheeky
Mine's a
sidekick.
strawberry. Who's your daddy? Mm. That's so good.
Oh, wow. Here it is coming apart.
Oh, wait.
Does anyone else want a piece from the top? We can cut more pieces from the top.
I want top.
I do.
That was so
Top
good.
pieces, right?
I want to try
I
more of the bottom now.
I want a piece from the top too.
That's
perfect. Thank you very much. Spoons over there.
Excellent.
Hey, Mark. Mark, how much was that?
Yeah, I gotta try that
Someone say my
bottom.
name.
What's up? Somebody
I'm
say,
not Jeremy's
Put your plate in there.
did somebody say Brenda's name?
That's so good.
There you go.
And I'm not Jeremy's
Gotta have part of the top.
cheeky sidekick.
Strawberry stuff.
Yes, you are. I'm friend.
Oh, I think somebody was saying you're forgetting my piece.
Yeah.
Which piece do you want?
I'll do the carrot cake.
I want
I
the.
need more.
Okay.
Can you open up another patch? They could be there here.
It's so cool.
I want the top.
Right here.
Part of the whole.
Take it.
This part, top squash.
Bring your coat.
Oh, yum. That is delicious.
Put that back under.
Heck yeah, guys. APEC Live.
Carrot cake is amazing.
This gives us fuel to do more experiments.
I'm gonna have some of the strawberry.
I can't wait to go and put that
Go ahead.
machine back together
Figure
and fire it up.
What is this? Is this just leftovers?
That's like the first slice that didn't make it.
I'll eat the leftovers.
Mom, no.
Whoa.
How was the cake?
Really good.
How was it?
Mom, no leftovers. Mom.
good.
It's so good. Is it really
This is
good?
the whole. This is part of the whole.
It's creating black holes in my mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, that's not a good thing.
That's not
Somebody
a good
asked me
thing.
if they'll lose
I
weight
should contact my doctor about that.
by eating the APEC anti-gravity cake. Like, would you lose weight?
Okay,
Sorry.
so guys, I need to ask now. So what do we have coming up in terms of experiments?
Okay.
I think the experiments are gonna happen tomorrow. Everything's like halfway through.
Yeah.
Maybe later tonight.
I'm really close.
This is ours.
We're really close, but I think we got a lot of work to do to get like some stuff together. I don't think it's gonna happen tonight, honestly. Oh, let's stay in here. Everyone's hanging out.
Right now, we're just eating cake.
Right now, we're just gonna eat some cake. We're gonna drink some wine, and then we're gonna go clean up out there and start putting stuff back together. I think tomorrow we'll do some experiments and I'll try to post some stuff. Maybe we'll go live if we have something worthwhile.
Okay,
Okay. So that's why I'm working on that.
Me and Jeremy are brothers.
But like me and Chris took care of all them.
But yeah,
contacts.
Let's hear from everyone.
Let's hear from everyone.
What's everyone else doing to celebrate? Raise your glasses to APEC.
here.
Turn on your camera if you have something to drink. Michael Boyd has a mug. What's in the mug?
Coffee, tea.
Yeah. So the reason I ask is thanks to editor Chris Plain at the debrief, now we have a bunch of people that attended to see experiments. So I want to be able to show them something. You have to have something, Mark.
Everyone ready for a toast? I'll throw on a cell video of at least something that sparks, and I'll show you some waveforms. So I'll get to that in just a minute. What about Brian Sinclair and the Pi? If he's got that thing ready, the Pi X, I've been wanting to see the updates. I've been watching his channel. I am subscribed, and I'm waiting to see the Pi X perform. So if he's got it ready, I mean, heck, if we can get him on.
He didn't show up here. He said he was going to broadcast from his shop in Upper New York.
Now Ross is saying he's ready, so I'm not sure if Ross is in connection with him or not. But I don't know, Ross. You have a word? Are you in connection with Brian right now? Is he ready to present, or no?
We could throw that thing back together in an hour, right? Fire
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, I'll go.
If we're
Here's
with
everybody. Congratulations.
Oh, what are you drinking?
It is a tincture.
Oh, those are the best.
Fancy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with hardware experiments. You can't really predict what kind of problem you're gonna have. So
yeah, we have power supply issues. We're putting that back together right now.
I'm gonna go set up out of the video just real quick. We'll put on 5 minutes of experiment.
Play.
you can show them the beetling thing if you got that working.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I'm on.
Oh,
Hey,
There's Brian. There's Brian. Awesome.
okay, give me about 5 minutes to get over to the lab, and we'll see if we can at least make it run. I don't have a good enough setup to really show weight loss, but we'll at least see this thing run for the moment, and we'll go from there.
awesome.
All right, I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Come down in the next week. Aiden's going to be down here. We got assistants down here. We could still work on your stuff down here at the lab over the next week. I know you had family over and you couldn't make it. But,
Right. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
That's just the nature of hardware. You have to go to where it is to show it live. And then it breaks. Like Eric. Yes.
They call everything like that a lab. It's really not a lab. It's just a shop, but it is what it is.
Experiments.
Speakers back on.
Yes.
Hey, Brian is in the house.
Is that Brian, the Brian Kelly?
No, Brian Sinclair. Brian with the Pi X.
That is
Brian.
Kelly.
How are you doing, man?
Hi. Who can speak?
Sir.
You looking at me? This thing on?
Yeah, it's on. Look at you.
Yeah, I made it. It's lots of fun, worth the time.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Finally got to meet these people in person and not be hanging out in the chat shooting my mouth off. And met Chris in person. Yeah.
Was it worth it to come to meet Chris?
Yeah, it was worth it. It's worth 6-hour drive each way, no problem. Except it's gonna snow going back, maybe.
Oh,
So you may not see me tomorrow morning. Here.
Build a death ray.
oh.
Happy birthday to APEC. Build a death ray.
Yeah.
I'm about to go into a sugar shock coma from
Yeah.
that.
Hey, Harold.
Yeah, mine
Cheers.
is really good. I wasn't expecting it to be this sweet.
You know, I'm gonna cut.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut.
we should have some more experiments to go in live. We should at least do a lifter or something.
Yeah, but we don't have the time to set that up. I want to get one more. Some of this
Show
material.
some videos.
Can I bring a slice from my girlfriend?
Yeah, for sure.
I've got an experiment I'm doing.
Stood her up to come here on a Saturday night. Yeah. Leave your girl home on a Saturday night.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. In the doghouse now.
Not if you bring the.
Not if you bring the cake
Yeah,
back.
I'm like, hey, look,
That's it.
I know you're mad, but try this cake. You're not gonna regret it. You know?
the full sample. Top and bottom.
Thank you.
What do you got?
Are you gonna use that footage that I sent you of the flying saucers, the circles? Thinking about it. It depends. Depends. That's very good.
Cool stuff, man.